නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස තෙරුවන් සරණයි. Dear Dhamma friends, today we are going to discuss another important discourse preached by our great teacher Samma Sambuddha. We were invited to conduct this Dhamma sermon by Visakha Smith in order to bless Jeff Smith's 69th birthday. He may realize Nibbana with the help of these merits which we gather from this Dhamma sermon. And they hope, they wish all Buddhist followers may realize Nibbana with the help of these merits. And they have invited us to conduct this Dhamma sermon on Anicca Dukkha Anatta. How to practice Anicca Dukkha Anatta as a bhavana. How do we use that Anicca Dukkha Anatta to realize the Nibbana? What is the usage of Anicca Dukkha Anatta? That is what the topic they were suggested. So when I think about this, there are so many suttas in the Tripitaka to discuss this topic. But I selected very important and beautiful sutta to discuss that. The sutta name is Alagaddupama Sutta, simile of the serpent. So, when I discuss this topic, when I discuss this sutta, I have to divide that sutta into few parts. So, in the first part, I hope to talk about the story behind this sutta. And in the second part, I hope to discuss what are the benefits if we understand Anicca Dukkha Anatta, and what is the danger if we do not understand Anicca Dukkha Anatta. In the next part, I hope to discuss about how do we understand Anicca Dukkha Anatta. What are the teachings? What are the places Buddha pointed out these teachings, Anicca Dukkha Anatta. And in the fourth part, I hope to talk about how to practice this Dhamma. How to practice bhavana with Anicca Dukkha Anatta, using Anicca Dukkha Anatta. In the last part, I hope to talk about given advices given by the Buddha in this sutta, special advices. So those are the main parts. So let's move to the first part. In the first part, we can see in this way. At that time, Buddha was dwelling at Savatthi Jetas Grove Anathapindika's monastery. So there was a bhikkhu, his name is Aritta. He had a pernicious view. He says this. Evaṁ vyāko aham āvso bhagavata dhammam destham ājānāmi. Yatāye me antarāyikā dhamma uttā bhagavata te patisevato nālaṁ antarāyā yāti. I know Dhamma preached by the Blessed One in this way. If the Blessed One, if the Buddha preach some Dhamma as a dangerous thing, I know those things are not dangerous. That is what the pernicious view that held by the kept by the bhikkhu Aritta. So, a number of bhikkhus who were living in the Savatthi heard this and went to him, and they advised bhikkhu Aritta, Venerable, do not say in that way. Don't hold that pernicious view. That is wrong. That is not compatible with Buddha's teaching. So, Buddha did not teach in this way. Buddha doesn't preach Dhamma in this way. This is wrong. They were tried to explain to Venerable Aritta in various ways, but they were unable to acknowledge him. However, they tried to explain this. Venerable Aritta did not give up his pernicious view. Then, when they were unable to give up that pernicious view when they were unable to acknowledge Venerable Aritta, so those bhikkhus went to the Buddha and informed the incident. And then the Buddha asked bhikkhu Aritta to come. Then Buddha asked this, Venerable bhikkhu Aritta, is this truth? Yes, Venerable Sir. Then Buddha asked, when did I teach in this way? Where did I teach in this way? He was silent, and Buddha blamed him. Buddha criticized his pernicious view and his behavior, and Buddha pointed out Dhamma in various ways. Even Buddha pointed out this Dhamma in various ways to Aritta. He did not understand it. He couldn't give up his pernicious view. So, then Buddha said, I don't preach you Dhamma at all. I don't preach you Dhamma anymore. So, Buddha abandoned him. Then Buddha discussed Dhamma with those bhikkhus. Bhikkhus, do you hold this Dhamma in this way? Then those bhikkhus said, no, Venerable Sir. Then how do you hold this Dhamma? Then those bhikkhus said, Venerable Sir, we know this Dhamma. If Buddha has pointed out some Dhamma, some factors as dangerous things, we know those factors as dangerous things. So that is how they express their idea. And then Buddha pointed out these two important factors about the Dhamma. Two similes we can see in this part. So, first one, if we take this Dhamma in wrong way, it is like taking a serpent in a wrong way. What happens if we take a serpent in a wrong way? Sometime, most probably, it bite us, and we have to face sometime death or near to death. And in the same, that is what happens if we take this Dhamma in a wrong way. And if we take Dhamma in correct way regularly. It is like taking a serpent in correct way. So there are very long story in the Sutta, but I have to summarize this story. So there are some person who make use of serpents. So they can make use with serpent if they take that serpent correctly. In the same way, we can use this Dhamma. We can practice this Dhamma if we catch or if we learn this Dhamma in the real way, correct way. So that is what the Buddha pointed out. And in the next simile, Buddha pointed out in this way. Bhikkhus, kullupamang bhikkhave dhamman desissami, nittaranatthaya no ganhattaya. I preach this Dhamma as a raft, means boat, like a boat. So what do we use? Boat. What is the why do we use a boat? To cross the river. We can use a boat to cross the river. After crossing the river, we don't carry it with us. In the same way, we, after realizing this Dhamma, after practice this Dhamma, we don't hold, we don't keep that Dhamma with on our head. So that is what the Buddha pointed out. So some people learn this Dhamma and they level their head because of this Dhamma. I know this Dhamma this much. Other people don't know this Dhamma. I know Samatha and Vipassana. Other people don't know Samatha and Vipassana. I practice Vipassana. These people practice Samatha. Samatha is important. Vipassana, I practice Vipassana. Other people practice Samatha. So Vipassana is important. Samatha is not important. So saying so many things, they level their head. So Buddha advised in this part not to do that. So we, after practicing this Dhamma, we have to keep aside that. However, to practice this Dhamma, we have to learn. So that is why we should learn. That is how we should learn this Dhamma. So some people take this advice in wrong way. So Buddha have preached not to learn this Dhamma in order to keep on his head. By saying in this way, they don't try to learn. That is wrong idea. We should learn this Dhamma with the idea of practice. So that is what the Buddha's teaching and Buddha's idea in according to this simile. So Dhamma friends, that is what the things I hope to discuss with the first part. So let's move to the next part. In the next part, we can see the benefits. What are the benefits if we understand anicca, dukkha, anatta, and what is the danger if we do not understand anicca, dukkha, anatta. So when we discuss about anicca, we can translate it into English impermanence. So even though we translate in that way, we have to study furthermore. So why that? So when we understand this anicca, the word anicca is included so very deep idea. In the same way, when we learn about the dukkha, we can say suffering. It is correct, but we have to learn in deeply about the suffering according to the Buddhism. And when we translate anatta, we can say selflessness, and we can use those words. So, however, when we learn about the anatta, we have to learn in a broader context about that. So that is very important. We have to study deeply about the anicca, dukkha, anatta. So when we were invited to discuss about this topic, how to use practice anicca, dukkha, anatta as a bhavana, then I thought, without understanding anicca, dukkha, anatta, we can't practice any vipassana meditation, any vipassana bhavana or satipatthana. We can't practice satipatthana without understand anicca, dukkha, anatta. So in this part, we hope to talk about the benefits, about the danger if we do not understand anicca, dukkha, anatta. So Buddha pointed out, chaimani bhikkhave dittittanani. Because there are 6 places where our pernicious view is planted. Pernicious view are planted. So what are those places? So, and who hold that pernicious view? In this part, Buddha pointed out, ida bhikkhave asutva putujjano, untaught ordinary person. Aryanang adassavi, he doesn't see the Arya Puggala, or Buddha, or Arahanta, or other Arahanta, other Dhamma realized person. Arya. That ordinary person, one who does not understand this anicca, dukkha, anatta, he doesn't recognize Buddha, he doesn't recognize Arahanta, he doesn't recognize other Arya Sravakas, Aryas. So Aryana Adasa, he doesn't understand this Dhamma. He doesn't clever with the Buddha's teaching. Why? He doesn't know anicca, dukkha, anatta. And Arya Dhamme Avinitu, he doesn't practice anicca, dukkha, anatta. Arya Dhamme Avinitu. So therefore he think in this way. Normal people, ordinary people think in this way. They think, ordinary people think, Rupang etam mama eso hamasmi emeso attati samanupassati. The material form is me, it belongs to me, it is myself. So what is the material form? Material form is this body. Material form is a name for this body. So the people who doesn't know this Dhamma think material form is my. Material form is me. This body is, they think this body is me. Why? He doesn't know this Dhamma. And feelings. Feeling is me. It is myself. It belongs to me. What are the feelings? pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neither pleasant nor unpleasant feelings. So I think you can understand about the feelings. So if you don't know about the impermanence and sufferings and selflessness, so you think this feeling is me, this feeling belongs to me, this feeling is myself. So that is how you think. Why? You did not understand Buddha's Dhamma. You don't know about the Buddha's Dhamma in according to the Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. So if you know this Dhamma, you don't think that this feeling is me. This feeling is me. This feeling belongs to me. This feeling is myself. And next one, perception or recognition. So people think this perception is me. So what is perception? The perception, because of it is called Rupa Sanya. The perception connected to the material form, perception connected to the sound, perception, the Rupa Sanya means perception connected to the vision or visuals, perception connected to the sounds and smell and contact. So they don't know about this Dhamma, and they think the perception or recognition is me, it belongs to me, it is myself. That is how untaught ordinary person think. And volitional formations, Sankara. So untaught ordinary person think this Sankaras. So those are belongs to me. Those are me. Those are myself. That is how untaught ordinary person consider. In the so many places, we can see Buddha teach Vijñānaṁ attato samanupassati. But in this sutta, in this Alagaddupama sutta, we can't see that word. Buddha pointed out in this way. Dittang sutam mutang viññātaṁ pattang pariyesitaṁ anuvicharitam manasa. So the means what you seen, what you heard, what you contacted, what you searched in the mind, what you wished, and what you received, those things are me. Those things are belong to me. Those things are myself. That is how normal people think. So now we discussed about 4 places where our pernicious views are planted. And there are another one place. So loko so atta so pecca bhavissami sassati samang tateva tassamiti. That means some people think in this way. This is the world, so this is the life, this is the self, and this life and self exist after the death, and after the death it is exist permanently and never change. it is exists like a rocky mountain. So that is the place. That is the next place. Now, untaught ordinary person think this self is exist after the death. It is me. It belongs to me. It is myself. So these are the 6 places according to the Buddha's teaching in this sutta. There are 6 places which we don't understand. We can't understand this. Why? If we don't know anicca, dukkha, anatta deeply, still we think this is me. Now, still you are thinking, I am listening Dhamma. So that is how we think. But if you understand, you know the reality. So then Buddha pointed out, Ida bhikkhave sutavako arya savako. The person who learned this Dhamma, well taught Arya person, think in this way. He doesn't consider in that way. He see the Buddha. He practice this Dhamma correctly. He don't think he material form as me. He doesn't think material form as me. He doesn't consider material form belongs to me. He doesn't consider material form is myself. And he doesn't think perception is me. Perception, feeling is me. Feelings belongs to me. Feeling is myself. And perception is me. Perception belongs to me. Perception is myself. Volitional formations are me. Volitional formations are belongs to me. Volitional formation are myself. And if what we seen, what we heard, what we contacted, what we searched, what we wished, and what we received, those things are belongs to me. He doesn't consider in that way. And those are myself. He doesn't consider in that way. So that is the nature of the one who learned this Dhamma, one who learned anicca, dukkha, anatta. And so again, he doesn't consider that there is a self and that self exists after the death. So he doesn't think in that way. Why? He knows this Dhamma. So because of this kind of understanding, he never scared of anything. He never scared of anything. So evan samanupassati asati paritassanati. When he understands in this way, he doesn't have any kind of fear. That is what the Buddha pointed out in this part. So when this was said, there was a bhikkhu. He asked this, Venerable sir, Syanuko bante bahidda asati paritassanati. When physical things are not exist, is there any kind of fear? Then Buddha said, yes. If the physical things are not, there are fear to one who doesn't know this Dhamma. Why? He thinks, I had so many things. Now I don't have those things. So then he are suffering from fear. That means, so if we don't have any thing specially, we are depend on so many things. Now you depend on what? You depend on in the first time, firstly we can say you depend on your body. So, and your other relations, parents, son and mother, wife, husband, son and daughters, relations, neighbors, country, money, the physical things, your world. So you depend on those things. But so therefore, if those things don't have, you are scared, you are suffering. If those things don't have, you are suffering. So Buddha pointed out the why does he suffer? Why does he suffer? Because he doesn't know the Dhamma. That is why he suffer. So then those bhikkhu ask, that bhikkhu asks again, Siyanuko bhante bahidda asati aparitasanati. First one is paritasana. Then he asks aparitasana. That means there are some people, they don't depend on these physical things. They don't depend on their body. Who those things? Who they are? They are the one who learned, understood this Dhamma. They don't depend on their body. They don't depend on physical wealth. So therefore, they don't suffer about this. And then again that bhikkhu asked, Venerable Sir, Siyanuko bhante ajjattang asati paritasana. If internal thing does not exist, is there any kind of suffering? Yes, some people think I have a soul, I have a self. So when the Buddha preached this Dhamma about the impermanence, he suffered. So I had a self, I have a soul. Now Buddha preached in this way, now he is suffering. So that is the way when someone doesn't have internal things, he is suffering. And then that bhikkhu asked, Venerable Sir, is there any fearlessness if someone doesn't have internal thing? Then Buddha said, yes. If someone understand that if someone understand about the anicca dukkha anatta, he doesn't think I had a soul, I have a self, I had a self. So he doesn't consider that self exists after the death. So therefore, when the Buddha preached, he doesn't have any kind of suffering. So that is what the Buddha's teaching according to the anicca dukkha anatta. So those are the benefits if we understand anicca dukkha anatta, and those are the danger if we do not understand anicca dukkha anatta. So friends, now we can move to the third part of this sutta. What is that? How the Buddha pointed out about the anicca dukkha anatta in the suttas, in the Tripitaka. So there are so many places this teaching. Then Buddha asks, Tanking manyati bhikkhave. What do you think, bhikkhus? Rupang niccang va aniccang vati. This is what all the time Buddha asks from the bhikkhus to teach this Dhamma. So after asking question, Buddha teach anicca dukkha anatta. Now this is how Buddha teach it. Tanki manyati bhikkhave. What do you think, bhikkhus? Rupang niccang va aniccang vati. The material form, permanent or impermanent? Then bhikkhu says, impermanent, venerable sir. So if something impermanent, can it take as pleasure or unpleasant? Pleasant or unpleasant? Then those bhikkhus said, unpleasant, venerable sir. So if something unpleasant, can it take as myself? No, venerable sir. It can't be taken as myself. So that means we should wait for a bit. What is Rupam? So I is a Rupa. I is a material form. So what is I? So we can't introduce as I in this place I. Then in this case, not only the place I, we should learn better than the place I. We should learn something about better than something about than place I. So when we see something, we see the image. It is called color. It is called in Pali one. So when we see some color pictures, so it is because of four great element. It is called upadaya rupam. So because of that four great element, that picture come to the eye. So then we take that color picture from our internal eye. It is because of our place eye. So with that place eye and with that external eye, we can see a picture. So that picture is not exist permanently. When we think about that picture from the mind, that picture is disappeared. So that is how we should learn about the I, about the material form, about the images. So we can't see physical objects from this eye. We take a picture with the help of the eye, and when we think about that picture, the eye is disappeared. I had disappeared. Picture had disappeared, and the thought according to the eye had disappeared. That is called chakku viññāna. So that chakku viññāna had disappeared when we think about that picture. So that is called anicca. So that is how we should learn about the anicca. So when we think about the physical object, that I is not exist. That picture is not exist. So friends, so that is what we should learn about the I. So that Buddha asked bhikkhus, what do you think? I is permanent or impermanent? Those bhikkhus answer, Venerable sir, I is impermanent. Those bhikkhus give an answer, Venerable sir, I is impermanent. So with that understanding, those bhikkhus answers. With the understanding of that, those bhikkhus give this answer. So you can say, yes, I is impermanent, yes, material is impermanent, but without this understanding, it is not enough. So you have to understand about I and I consciousness and the picture because of material form and four great elements. We have to study about these things. Then you can understand what is this I. Then when you understand, you can see the real nature of the I. What is the real nature of the I? Is not exist even a moment. So after seeing these things, we can say I is impermanent. Material form is impermanent. So that is how we should discuss about that. That is how we should learn about that. So then Bhikkhu says, if something is impermanent, that we can't say that is a pleasant thing. Why? All the time we take something as happy. If we take something as a pleasant thing, so that should be something exist. So all the time when we consider, when we think about some happy thing, that depend on something exist. So if so we can't think about something, we can't think about something that as a happy thing if that is not exist. So we can only think about happy if it is exist. So therefore we can say, if something is impermanent, that is not happy, that is unpleasant. And if something is unpleasant, it can't be, it is not suitable, consider as myself. Why we talk in that way? What kind of things do we consider as my things? If there are so many important things, there are so many precious things in this room, so what do you hope to take? We hope to take most precious thing. Why that? Because that is very important. So in the same way, if something not precious, we don't keep it. So that is why we call, if something is suffering, that is not suitable, consider as myself. So that is how we should learn about impermanence, suffering and selflessness. So that is about the material form. In the same way, we should know. In the same way, Buddha asked, Tankim manyati bhikkhe, what do you think, bhikkhus? Feeling is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. Perception is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. Volitional formation is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. And consciousness is permanent or impermanent? Then those bhikkhus says impermanent, Venerable Sir. And if those things are impermanent, those are not suitable, consider as me or myself. That is what the Buddha pointed out in this part. So if we understand about the anicca, dukkha, anatta, about 5 aggregates, it is called panchupadana-khandha. So where this panchupadana-khandha is exist, that is none other than it is my life, it is your life, it is our life. So, Rupa means the physical body, feelings, the feelings which we feel all the time, perception, the things we recognize, formations, volitional formation. There are 50 chaitasikas, so you have to study more about that. Consciousness, the things which we seen, heard, and thought, those things. Dittan, sutam, mutam, vinyātam. That is how Buddha discussed about the vinyāna, consciousness. So, those things are the life. So, we consider our life as those things, but there are no life in those things. So, that is the answer when you investigate about those things. But we think that there is a life in those things. So, if you have to study them. So, after studying, we can practice the anicca, dukkha, anatta as meditation, as a bhavana. So, this is how Buddha pointed out about that. So, that is why Buddha pointed out, so evan samanupassanto rupasmin nibbindati, vedanasmin nibbindati, sanyaya nibbindati, sankaresu nibbindati, viññānaya nibbindati. When you practice this method, so you can completely freed from this rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, viññāna. These 5 things, from these 5 things. So, Dhamma friends, now time is over, so we have to end this sermon. However, we completed all the important Dhamma factors. Now we do Anumodana. First of all, most venerable Mankadawala Sudassana Mahathera and Mankadawala Nandaratana Thera and Kotmale Kumar Kassapa Thera and all Buddhist followers around the world. As well as we were invited to conduct this Dhamma sermon by Visakha Smith from America in order to bless Jeff Smith's 69th birthday. So she hoped to wish Jeff Smith may live long and happy life, and he may realize Nibbana with the help of these merits which we gathered from this Dhamma sermon, and they hope to wish may all the Buddhist followers realize the Nibbana with the help of these merits which we gathered from this Dhamma sermon. And now it is time to end this Dhamma sermon. We transfer these merits, all the devas, Akasatta ca Bhummatta Deva Naga Mahiddhika Punyantang Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Buddha Sasanang Chiran Rakkantu Buddha Savakang Bodayantu Sivang Padang. Theruvan Sarnai to all of you.